It'll have to wait until after the show, though. Happy to stay and watch? Pleasure. Here. This is the way in.
Please present yourself for a routine inspection in accordance with theater regulations. Thank you.
Is that guy with the fatui?
Okay, all done. Thank you for your cooperation. Please proceed through.
What's up? Everything okay? Snezhnaya's business and political leaders are always passing through here, so it makes sense. Still, it's a little unusual to see the Fatui's Armory Palace Guard here. He's part of the Special Assignments Battalion, but I only ever see him here, supposedly a researcher, though he never seems to put much time in at the office. The theater is one of his favorite, but that's not for us to worry about. Let's go. The show's about to start. Impressive, huh? Oh, the one in Fontaine? I hear it's iconic. Never seen it for myself, though. Here we are, just in time. Sorry, coming through.
If you're gonna show up late, keep your mouth shut.
What's his problem? Whatever. No point arguing with people like that.
Look, there she is. That's who I'm introducing you to later. She's the lead singer of the troupe, Vodyanitsa. They're expecting us.
Scatter!
Hey there. Excuse me.
Can you believe it? I am so mad right now.
Oh, it's you two.
Huh? You know each other? Oh, wait. Is this who you were telling me about? The one you met yesterday and couldn't stop thinking about?
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Why are you denying it? It was right before I went on that rant about the moody factory owner. Oh,
Might I ask what brings you two here?
Oh, I just brought her here to see the show. And when it finished, she was full of praise for Vodyanitsa's performance. So I thought I'd try my luck, see if we could get the chance to chat for a bit.
You work here. You of all people ought to know that's against the rules. It's not what the green room is there for.
Oh, what's the big deal? Come on, don't be shy. I can give you an autograph. You can take a picture too if you want.
Do as you please. I finished all my shows for the day. I'll leave you to chat.
I wasn't making that stuff up, you know. Odette's just too proud to admit it. She thinks very highly of you. And so do I. You did the right thing in Svietloladovka.
We're good. Odette's out of earshot. I'll lock the door. Confidentiality, of course. The Rokot is very strict on that.
Whoa, Alosha! Not out loud! Not with an outsider.
Relax. I've taken care of it. Look at this.
The President's reply sent this morning. Wait, so she's been approved to join?
You told me last night that you wanted to get intel from the Rokot. Unfortunately, Rokot intel is only available to members. But ever since you set foot in Snezhnaya, we've been working together. I've seen the way you work. Everything about you is perfectly in alignment with what we're trying to achieve in the Rokot. I wrote a letter to the President explaining your situation, including just the right amount of detail. Of course, it's still your decision whether you want to join or not. We'll respect your choice.
Well, assuming Odette was telling the truth and she didn't misjudge you, I guess we don't need to worry about you blowing our cover. Still, you gave me a real fright. I didn't know that's why you... So, that stuff you said about admiring my performance, was that just because Odette was here? Did you actually... Now you're talking. That's what I like to hear.
Anyway, let me give you a quick rundown of how things work. Like I said, the Rokot is a covert organization. Members typically don't meet in person or even know each other's identities. This helps us maintain a high level of Because of this, members are basically free to decide their methods without constraints. So,
After all, we don't have any ostensible contact with each other. This way, if anything goes wrong...
beyond the freedom to choose how you operate, it's also your choice whether to act at all. In short, joining the Rokot in and of itself won't place any restrictions on your activity in Snezhnaya. There's a code of conduct you can read if it interests you. But basically, as long as you don't plan on using your anonymity to go around doing evil, you'll be fine.
I tried reading it 5 or 6 times. Never made it all the way through. Even the most
Great. Then I'll go grab an official application form. Be right back.
Well, Alosha has this pet dog, you see. His name's Tagarin. And this one time, Tagarin took quite a liking to me, so I played with him for a little bit and fed him some treats. Then, the Rokot was out on a mission one day, and even though we were all in disguise, Tagarin recognized me right away.
Just a coincidence, really. We didn't report it to the higher-ups, though, to avoid dealing with the fallout. Like... my job at the theater. By the way, what were you complaining about just before we came in? Did everything go okay with Chugano?
Everything did not go okay. That's why I was so mad. I tried to make some small talk with him before I went on stage to fish for intel about the Iskra manufacturing plant. But he wouldn't take the bait, no matter what I said. And then he started complaining. He said he didn't appreciate his second-rate seat in the stalls because he usually gets a private box. I mean, what did he expect? Everyone knows that if you want a box seat, you buy a ticket well in advance. But instead, I had to juggle things around just to get him a half-decent seat, hoping he would appreciate the gesture.
Yeah, meeting Chuganov in person is definite. Oh, you probably don't know who we're talking about, do you? Chuganov.
To the citizenry, he's a family man and a kind boss. But our interactions with him tell a very different story. Take the ticket situation, for instance. I've actually gotten him a private box in the past. But not only was he not even grateful, not to mention that he's never paid for a single one of his tickets. And another thing, if he's such a big family man, why doesn't he bring his wife and daughter to see the show once in a while?
Calm down, Vodyanitsa. If you won't do it the easy way, we'll have to try the hard way. But first things first. Here's your application form. Go ahead and fill it out.
Looks like I'll need to make a few little tweaks here and there. But other than that, you're good to go. Alright. Now that we're officially Rokot comrades, I can tell you. Chukhanov is the target of our current operation. Recently, we've done some recon work at the Iskra manufacturing plant, which all we need now is some direct evidence to present to the Vetcha, so we can demand that they should. Now, help me tidy this room up a bit before we head out.
Okay. What need...
Everything!
We come here often, so we shouldn't stand out. Now, it's up to Vodyanitsa. Let's see how...
Mr. Mitya! Over here! Over here!
Oh, sorry. I got a little held up on my way here. Now we have even less time than we planned. Go ahead and order some snacks and drinks. Whatever you like. Let me see. According to my schedule, we still have 20...
You're really pressed for time today, huh? I was imagining this would be a leisurely chat. If you'd prefer.
No need. Getting to meet the lead singer is a very precious opportunity for me. I'm not about to pass it up. I've already had to decline your invitation several times because our schedules rarely align. If I don't grab this chance while it's here, who knows when the next one will come around?
Well, it's very kind of you to make time just for me.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. But Snezhnaya's full of weird and wonderful things like that, so people tend not to bat an eye. I'm sure the same will go for the Eye of Grey and Pine.
The reason I invited you out for tea and a chat today was to get some feedback from a true fan of the theater.
Well, I genuinely have nothing bad to say. No matter how many times I hear you sing, it never gets old. Maybe it's because the more times I listen, the more details I notice. Or...
Thank you! I'm delighted to hear that. Could you give me any specific examples?
Oh, yeah. The piece you sang today, for example. Beneath the... Hey, what's with you? I'm just praising a good performance. I always used to find that such a bleak and lonely song. But the more you listen, the more you realize that it's not as cold and nihilistic as it appears. When you really dig down into it, there's a certain level...
Wow, I'm impressed. I didn't expect you to pick up on that. Actually, I only tried out that angle after talking with the composer. Still, Beneath the Frozen River wasn't on today's program.
Oh, really? But it's a classic. You sing it every time.
Almost every time.
Oh, well then. Let me say a few words about that other all-time classic, Flying in the Wind from the Mountain Sparrow.
I didn't sing that one today either. My voice wasn't quite up to it, so I switched it out at the last minute.
Oh, but,
Sorry, Mr. Mitya, but you were at the theater today, yes?
Of course I was. Remember? I said hello to all the troupe members before the show started. You...
So, what did Odette sing today?
Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose, of course.
Correct. I see. I see. You find my singing boring, don't you? That's why you don't remember a single song. Looks like I'll need to cut a few from the program next time.
No, that's not it. I swear. All right. I'll be straight with you. I'm sorry. My mind was wandering as you took the stage today. I enjoy watching your shows because the exquisite performances stimulate the mind. It always sparks some inspiration for my research. So, whenever I get stuck at work, I come to the theater for a change of pace. Odette's dance during the Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose today was simply incredible. It got me wondering what she's been going through recently. That look of sheer defiance in the face of utter tragedy? It was so inspiring. I started scribbling in my notebook right away. Not that I made a ton of progress in the grand scheme of things, but I still think it was productive. By the time I snapped out of it, the entire show had finished.
So what you're saying is, you didn't listen to my singing at all?
Unfortunately not. I'm sorry. I don't know which is more disrespectful. The fact that I don't always come for the show itself, or the fact that I missed your performance.
Seems like things are getting a little awkward.
Mitya just stepped into a conversational minefield. If there's one thing Vodyanitsa doesn't like, it's people who show disrespect for her performance. This meeting was so hard to set up. Don't tell me it's already falling apart.
It's fine. I suppose this is affirming in its own way. At least, it shows that our performance really touches people's hearts, right? Don't let it bother you. It certainly doesn't bother me.
She's showing a lot of restraint.
Well, I'll be sure to let Odette know how much you adored her performance.
Please don't say that. I always love your performances too. It's just that inspiration struck at the wrong time today. I'm usually all ears.
I know, I can tell. That's why I value your opinion. I'm sure some people can't stand it when others praise their coworkers right to their face, but not me. No.
Fair enough. I still feel kind of bad though.
But you know what I really can't stand? People who...
Oh yeah, 100%. There are too many of those people around. By the time they're walking out the door, what's wrong? You look
I don't know if you've heard about the boss of the Iskra manufacturing plant. He isn't even a theater investor. But he box tickets only, premium drinks, even the right to request specific songs.
Who knows? I've only heard the same rumors you have. But the Rooster's been coming down on us hard lately, demanding that we track and trace every single batch of Crystal. My coworkers in the Department of Energy have been tearing their hair out over it.
The Rooster? I didn't realize he cared that.
Yeah. Even though there are no restrictions on Crystal trading, the poor will wind up freezing to death if we let the rich buy as much as they want. That's clearly unfair. Looks like we'll need to arrange an investigation into the Iskra manufacturing plant as soon as possible. I never knew you kept up with current affairs beyond the theater, Miss Vodyanitsa. You really have a heart for the common person. Most Fae in your position have long been indifferent.
Well, those of us who choose to live in human cities are naturally going to pay attention to any... I'm just surprised to learn that even someone with as much experience as him is getting so stressed out over Project Stuja.
This is it. We're finally going there.
I'm sure Mitya can sense on some level that she's fishing for information. But since they're
It's stressing me out too. If I'd only made better progress with my...
Oh, so your work is related...
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source, not the power of the light. Right now, the only thing that meets the requirements is the power, but harnessing that power is costly. Each step of the process requires... Progress has been painfully slow, and the team is getting burned out as time goes by. Sometimes...
Could it be that this new energy source has side effects?
No, it doesn't affect us, because the energy is used for... Okay, Okay, I got it. Stop choking me. I think we're all just exhausted. We've been working ourselves to the bone for so long with so little progress to show for it. It's no wonder.
Seems like I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have gotten so...
Don't worry about it. I count myself lucky, to be honest. I don't envy the people who work closely with the Tsaritsa herself. I'd much rather be in my...
So they're trying to develop a completely new kind of energy. Yeah, censored by a scarf. Who would have thought?
Oh, dear. It looks like my time is up. I'm afraid I have to leave. I'm so sorry. We ended up barely talking about the theater.
That's okay. It was a pleasure chatting with you, really.
Let's make up for it next time. We touched on some confidential issues today. I'd be grateful if...
That could have gone worse.
Nice job. Why was Mitya in such a hurry to...
Sorry, routine inspection. Okay, let's go.
So he wasn't rushing to get back to work. He must have calculated that Valeri would find him here in exactly
One of the main duties of the Special Assignments Battalion is to ensure that important figures stick to their schedules.
All right, time for us to get going too. Excuse me, check please.
We'll settle our check too, then.
Oh, hello there. Mr. Mitya paid the check before leaving. He also asked me to pass on a message. He said it was an honor to share his tea break with Miss Vodyanitsa and her two friends.
Wait.
So he knew we were here all along? This raises a lot of questions. Maybe his work isn't confidential after all. Maybe the key here is the purpose of this... Vodyanitsa and Alosha have both left.
You're back! Here pretty early today. Paimon was just gonna mention that. After she woke up today, Paimon felt like her temperature was completely back to normal. But her strength still hasn't returned. Still, there's some good news. Paimon thinks she might have figured it's like there's some kind of mysterious power affecting Paimon. Paimon's never felt this way before during any of her travels. She only started feeling this way since we arrived in Snesh.
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new...
Could that have something to do with it?
What is it? You're making that face again. You know, the one you get whenever you have a light bulb? So, they're trying to develop a new energy source here? And you think that might be why Paimon's feeling unwell? Well, Mitya denied that the energy they're researching it, but even so, those are completely different symptoms from it's pretty faint, so it's kind of hard to tell. But, if anything, it seems like... Sure, Paimon's with you there. But how, though? The robot only had... Oh, great point! They argue about Project Stusha every day. Good idea! Oh, yeah. While you were out, Paimon, this one seemed right up your alley. So, Paimon...
Ah, Miss Vodyanitsa, prima donna of the Korolievsky troupe. What a surprise meeting you here. Will you be sitting...
Sorry, I'm not taking interviews today. Oh good, you're here. The session's about to begin. Let's get inside.
Please wait, Miss Vodyanitsa. Could you introduce me to your new friend?
In summary, the energy management commitments made for the outgoing period have been delivered upon. Furthermore, both the production and consumption of Kresnik, the relevant agencies have assessed the present circumstances and determined that the status quo can be sustained until the... It should also be noted that while the recent blizzards have led to a significant increase in people's energy expenses, this is strictly... Her Majesty the Tsaritsa is giving her full attention to this matter. We should have every confidence that it will be dealt. A financial report on disaster relief is also present in...
They cover the same old ground every single time. The rooster never seems to mind, but everyone else is getting tired of it. There's a general lack of trust. People aren't seeing any tangible benefits that affect them directly. Of course, none of that will be reflected in any of the reports on the table.
Yeah, if it weren't for these hard copy documents, I could have at least made something up. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just out here trying to hit my interview quotas. Bring out the kvass. Ever read it? Best-selling newspaper in town.
If I remember correctly, you guys don't even have a sales permit. You have to sell from stalls on the street.
Okay then, best-selling street stall newspaper in town. Still counts.
Order! We will now open the floor to the representatives. If there are no further substantive issues to discuss...
Snezhnaya has a long tradition of treating members of the Fatui armed... But recent surveys shows that Fatui families in remote areas have access to... It's been said many times before, but it bears repeating now. There needs to be...
Perhaps you wouldn't need to keep repeating yourself if you would hear me out for once. You appear to treat resource allocation as a simple function of production, and do you even know how long it's been since Snezhnaya...
If I knew the answers to questions like that, I'm sure I'd be of... I'd like to bring the focus back to the specific issue I raised.
It's easy to be a critic when there's no accountability. Defeat the ringleader and all other problems will magically resolve themselves. That's what they seem to think. But in case you aren't aware, not one jot in my report would change whether Project Stooge...
So you have no intention whatsoever of finding a solution to this problem?
On the contrary, I'm the only one here who...
Child opened by speaking up for the armed forces. Regrator struck back with style and a war of words ensued. Our reporter was live on the scene to get the audience's reaction as it all unfolded. The people have spoken! Regrator delivered a...
Now you see why they don't have a sales permit.
However this reporter wants to spin things. So, surely their relationship can't always have...
You two are getting off topic. Let's focus on what the data is saying.
Mr. Pantalone, may I speak on your behalf?
Oh, please do. I'm more than happy to save my breath.
Crystal distribution policy undergoes modification, but I fear many may have been misled on this topic by extremist activists. The most recent reports all point to Snezhnaya's resilience and adapt to make drastic adjustments without first considering the risks. Would likely...
Renowned scholar of finance, Arapov spoke up to clarify with the notorious Lelex still...
She's just rephrasing what Mr. Pantalone said. The Rokot are the critics he accuses of taking no response. As for Lilac, you won't have heard of him yet. He's currently the most famous member of the Rokot. Well, more like ending Project Stooja has become an obsession for him. Unlike the more decent ones among us, he believes that votes in the Vetcha, so whether it's threats, coercion, or bribery, he'll use whatever means necessary.
And since we're already on the subject, what do you think? Yes, don't we all? Lelex supporters grow.
At least someone here wants to take this discussion seriously. I've been considering that issue. I think it would be easiest to let the Fatui handle it. Since whatever you need, you can ask the Fatui to look into it for you. In terms of supervision,
I will be happy to take a note of your suggestions and present them to Commander Vesna for a decision upon her return. The Commander has always taken a keen interest in Project Stooja. However, given the Druzhna's demanding workload, I'm afraid it may...
Let us refrain from jumping to conclusions until a concrete and...
My apologies, Lord Rooster.
There are numerous issues to address here, including... Nevertheless, I support drafting a proposal.
In that case, I'd like to share what... In fact, the Energy Commission...
That's a good idea. I read every issue.
Be that as it may,
Not if they are used purely...
Very well, then. It appears that the...
Yeah, sounds good to me.
The members reached a provisional consensus on the issue of Today, the prima donna of the Korailievsky troupe attended a session of the Snezhnograd Vecha in—
Write anything like that again, and I'm revoking your permission to interview the troupe. Got it?
Now then, if there are...
Hey, check it out! What made him vote against?
The votes have been tallied. Those in—
That was too close.
I'll bet Lelek is behind this. I wonder how Pulcinella will respond to—
Chuganov.
Yes, go, Lelek. Once Project Stuja is defeated, our unwavering support—
In accordance with the result of this vote, we debate only for the session.
Really wasn't expecting— Well, in principle, Snezhnaya, as we heard, Project Stuja is basically just a resource distribution framework that requires everyone to— But even if the policy got cancelled, I got a letter from Mr. Mitya just before today's session. He said in a situation like this, once the Rooster receives the report, he'll order the factory to halt production and submit to an But that's a week-long process, and thus didn't make it onto the Vecha— Exactly. And as you know, he's a very selfish person. I was originally gonna try and flip him after he received notice of the official sanctions. My plan was to convince him that the whole thing was complete. Rather than just sit back and take the hit while his factory stopped production, he'd be better off voting to end Project Stuja. At least that way, no one else would be able to make any money either, because all the But now, he's already voted against it. Which means someone must have used more forceful means to change his vote. Yeah, no one knows why Lelek is so obsessed with ending Project Stuja, but by the looks of it, he's inching closer and closer to success.
Lelek must have strong motivations, given how he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Maybe he knows the full truth of Project Stuja. Maybe my next step should be to focus on him.
Here for kicks and giggles.
Oh, yeah. To some, he's a captivating enigma. No one ever thought that some anonymous nobody from the— Huh? You want to look into Lelek?
Fine by me, I guess. If the Traveler actually manages to expose Lelek, it'll be doing pull— In return, it seems fair to let her in on what we've learned so far.
My thoughts exactly. Sharing is caring, after all. Head back to Glupov and grab the files on Lelek. It's easier to just pull the records than go through the rigmarole of getting the Traveler a visitor's permit.
As you command, child, sir.
In that case, since we're going to be waiting anyway, I'll have someone brew a pot of black tea.
One common thread among the many incidents Lelek has been involved in is that his modus operandi is to silently infiltrate the scene, so all these files have to offer are short statements.
If nothing else, it shows we're dealing with—
Yes, and to that point, he often strikes— Somehow, Lelek slips right into their rooms without making a sound. If he can get in and out undetected, it means he can strike without warning. It's hard to believe that a human being could pull this off flawlessly every time. So they switched the focus of the investigation. Careful, don't underestimate me. Although truth be told, I'd probably find it—
We haven't ruled out the possibility of Lelek being human. It's just—
No, not as strong as me. You'll never find the— There's no denying that Master is strong. But meticulous? We can only hope.
She's just trying to find a reference point. Stop getting fixated on who's stronger than who.
But that's the most important thing! In my opinion,
Odette? Yeah, that seems about right. Her skills are—
Except she's Fatui, so the likelihood of her working against us is pretty low.
No, wait a moment. Maybe we should interrogate that aside.
What do you mean? Which is—
Her Fatui identity doesn't necessarily exonerate her. And when you think about it—
Plus, she wouldn't need to be such a pro at covering her Oh, yikes. I was just thinking out loud. Why is this starting to sound like such a convincing Still, what reason could Odette possibly have for trying to—
Arlecchino would be the best person to ask. Rosaline used to open up to her in private about her struggles with Odette. As I'm sure you can imagine, Arlecchino is quite a lot better with children than Rosaline was. She gave her some tips on how to handle the situation, and Rosaline managed to reach a settlement with Odette before leaving. Beyond that, I don't know the details about that side of things. But the reason being, her father passed away during the early stages of that was back before it had been named Project Stuja, when things were still being worked out. But
the more you know. Rosaline was always so self-centered. I never understood why she started paying so much attention to Odette. Is that such a surprise? If you can—
Odette's past is no secret. Her father was a fetus and her mother was a very famous ballerina. On the surface, it looks like she followed right in her parents' footsteps. But the truth, after her father passed away on a mission, her mother was overcome with grief. She broke her leg. Odette was only interested in ballet at the time, but this tragedy left the family with both breadwinners gone. They could barely make per Capitano's policy. Members of the team in the line of duty had to be so regardless of how Rosaline may have felt about it, it fell to her to resolve the issue of—
Right, because the alternative would have been a one-off compensation payment, I guess. Still, she must have had mixed feelings about it, right?
It's just a theory. A possibility. But as a motive for Odette to become Lelik. That said, I have no idea where Odette's head is at right now. Plenty of people were on bad terms with Rosaline. Yes,